Hey, what's going on, FD Signifier? My name is Jeremy. I am a high school English teacher, and I've been watching your channel for a while. Big fan. I wanted to make this video, though, because I saw your Black Panther video, and it spoke to me a lot. It was hitting on a lot of points that I had been feeling over the years since the Black Panther movie came out, and I was looking at these video essays, and I wanted to first say that I agree with so many things that you said, right? And that there were a whole lot of great points made, but there was one thing that I don't want to say it was missing, but one thing that stuck out to me that I was like, I gotta expand on this point that you made at the end, right? Is that in the beginning you were talking about how Killmonger is not just a Disney creation, as some people were saying that, oh, well, if it's going to be a Disney movie, they have to be, subversive and attack the idea of the black radical, which was like true in part, but then also that this was specifically a critique of specific black radicals, specifically men, the particularly toxic variety, and so it was speaking to a real life issue, right? And I feel like also this is the case with the way that the movie wrapped up for how it's speaking to black liberalism, black elitism, and the idea of black excellence, which was shown in the ending, which, as you said, and as many black people agree, that the way that T'Challa made that speech at the end to that group of, I think it was the UN, that was whack, right? The way that he set up the school at the end, that was whack. But also, this is what should be expected of Wakanda and of T'Challa at this point in their development as a country and development as a character. And so I say that because I feel that just looking at the movie itself, the first movie, Black Panther, it very much strikes a chord with me, the way that you were speaking about this, that it was subversive and it's a Disney maneuver, right? But also something to think about is that it does not make sense for Wakanda to exist in the MCU, to exist in Earth 616, and for it to actually be a utopic nation that's making good decisions. That if there's all this death and destruction that's going on around them, and they have decided to remain isolationist through all this time, then it's not just one incident, even at the magnitude of the Killmonger takeover. But that's not going to end up fixing everything, right? They're still going to end up making bad decisions at the end. And the movie frames it as a good decision, but it's still a bad decision in the way that if you look towards what could be expected to happen next, you understand that this is going to be a bad thing, even in the first movie, right? That not a whole lot of people are going to take it to that extent, but it can be read into that way. And so to give an example of what I'm talking about, we've got four really strong women who are a strong influence in T'Challa's life. So there's Okoye, who is the person who's representing, oh, well, I believe in the system, right? I believe in the Wakandan way, and our policies for how we elect our leaders are so strong that I believe that everything is going to turn out right. That's why she goes along with Killmonger at the end, right? You've got Ramonda, who's representing the old way and believes in isolationism, being regal, and standing above, right? Then you've got Nakia, who is saying that, hey, we can help all of these other nations that are around us. They deserve our help. They need our help, and we can think of subversive ways to do that, and to get in with everybody else that's all around us. But then you've got Shuri, and a part that stands out to me is that when Martin Freeman's character, Ross, yes, when Everett Ross is injured and gets into Wakanda, you see that the reaction that Okoye has is she is thinking this is a threat to our nation, this is a threat to our sanctity and our independence. But once it gets to Shuri, she's just thinking to herself, this is so cool. I have a chance to show off how advanced our nation is, and that this is the technology is going to take us far, right? And I bring all this up because Shuri's way out of these four women is the one that the movie presents as being correct, right? T'Challa takes Shuri to the center in Compton that he's developing to show that, well, this is what we're going to do, is we're going to be better. We're going to be black elitism, we're going to be black excellence and black elites, and we're just going to rely on our technology to keep us ahead of the rest of the world, and that's going to be good enough, and we can open ourselves up to everybody else, right? Now what ends up happening next, the first thing that you see in the next movie is that this leader of this nation has been taken out under circumstances that the movie never makes clear, right? And then immediately, France and the U.S. are colluding to immediately strip Wakanda of its resources and to take advantage of the situation. And I think that was a really bold move for a Disney film to make. And so I don't know whether it was planned or not, and to some degree I don't believe that it was, not in the exact way that it ended up playing out. But I do think that this is a rather strong commentary on how T'Challa was wrong in the beginning or in the end of the last movie. The idea that we can just be black elites, we can just rely on our technology to keep us ahead of everybody, and that's all it's going to take, that and some diplomacy in order to stand above the rest. That idea was proven wrong immediately, right? And I think that the movie goes on to continue making it's not necessarily intentional, but the way that it can be read is that the movie is making a critique of the Black STEM push, the push for kids in Black STEM, the idea that Black people in science are going to innovate us forward and cause us to advance towards liberation. Because you see that not only was T'Challa wrong about the science and the diplomacy being able to sustain us and keep us there, but that it was the science and the technology which ended up being the weapon used against them, right? Is that I feel like a really big important part of this sequel is how Riri is her tech is just snatched up by the U.S. government. It's being used for purposes that are against Wakanda, and then Wakanda has to take her in and deal with the reckoning of what they brought up, what they introduced, and so it ends up being a strong rebuttal to the idea that that black science and black technology and black elitism and smarts is going to end up pushing us forward and being the way that we can advance towards liberation. And it shows how it's really honestly going to be our destruction and be our downfall is if we continue looking at just bringing people up with bringing our black kids up with the idea that, oh, you're so smart, oh, you can advance towards all of these prominent positions in U.S. Society that are like working towards their empire is going to be a good idea. With that said, there's a whole lot more to talk about on that front, but I just wanted to put this out there just as it is for now, and to say that I hope that I can get a chance to chop it up with you on like a B-sides or something like that. I haven't seen any of the B-sides featuring somebody who is not already like well known in the black media space. But I would love it if you were willing to and able to do that, just to be able to expand on these ideas more, because I'm sure that there's more that you could add to this conversation. There's more that I want to say as well. But I just wanted to put this out there and see what you think about it, and I hope to get your feedback, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say.